Too many of us choose to be blind. Who in their right mind would consciously blind themselves? I can't even think of one person who would do that. You have a serious competitive advantage when you can see. Even if you can see with just one eye, you still have a massive advantage over somebody who has no sight at all. Interestingly enough, a lot of people choose to be blind at some level or other. I'm not talking about being physically or legally blind. I'm talking about overlooking a very important power that they have. You have to understand that in any group of people, 20% will always make more money, have more sex, achieve better results, own more stuff, you name it. Regardless of how you measure success, these 20% will always come out on top. This, after all, is the Pareto principle. How bad is this inequality? Well, you only need to look at the fact that a tiny fraction of the world's population owns most of the wealth. They didn't steal it all. They didn't point a gun at people's heads and force them to give it up. They earned it. Unfortunately, the vast majority of people are left struggling over the leftovers. Most people are content with fighting over the crumbs that are left over by the 20%. These 20% or less are fully aware of their power. They are not blind to their human superpower. What am I talking about? Although our lives are the results of our choices, we choose to be blind to this truth. It may seem banal. It might even seem like common sense. But the moment you truly believe that your life is the result of your choices, you would start thinking, talking, and acting a different way. Whatever it is that's frustrating you will sooner or later go away. That's how important choices are. Sadly, a lot of people choose to be blind about this. They do things on autopilot. They do not make conscious decisions. It's like they're going through the motions of life. Now, it's easy to understand this intellectually. It's even tempting to say, I don't do that, or I'm going to stop doing that. Congratulations, at least you're making some progress. But here's the problem. This is built into the human condition. That's right. This is part of human nature. At the end of the day, there are two fundamental truths about human beings. First of all, we are very scared of change. We can talk a good game about how we welcome change and how important innovation and disruption are to us, but at the end of the day, we grow accustomed to doing things a certain way. Our actions fall into a certain pattern. The other fundamental truth about human beings, regardless of where they come from and what they look like, is that we tend to take the path of least resistance. Let's put it this way. If somebody offered you a plate full of yummy German chocolate cake, or you can dig a hole for 2 hours straight, which would you rather pick? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. We take the path of least resistance, which means that we run away from pain, discomfort, or inconvenience, and we run towards pleasure, convenience, and expediency. Given these two truths about the human condition, it's easy to see why people end up doing things on autopilot. They end up making decisions in a certain way. It doesn't matter what they are or what time it is. They end up doing the exact same things. As you already know, our lives are the results of our choices, so we end up feeling stuck. We end up denying the fact that we can choose. It must be something else. It can't be the fact that I chose my life. No, that's not it. That's too much to take. No way. This is the internal monologue most people play with themselves. That's why they remain blind to their human superpower. Your human superpower is your ability to choose. I know it's easy to say. It kind of rolls off the tongue. Most people can intellectually accept that, but they don't really accept it. It's kind of like something that we all agree on, but we then quickly discount it. You will always have a choice. At the very least, you can choose how you respond to the things happening around you. As I vividly explained in the previous video regarding the example of the burning building, choices can be made and undone. Wrap your mind around this. Stop choosing to be blind.